Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to video 2. This video is the royal family, shows what everybody is doing. However, at the end is where I discuss my algorithm experiment with you because we have our results. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for this one. Okay? All right, let's go. We're starting off with King Charles because he is going to give an Easter message on Maundy Thursday. This is going to be broadcast at, I hope I'm saying this correctly, Worcester Cathedral, because the king wants to reassure everybody after Catherine's cancer announcement that, over Easter weekend, everybody is doing fine, everybody is getting better, and he's going to focus on the, quote, spiritual significance of the religious anniversary. But he's going to personalize it also, which I have no doubt. This is absolutely an unprecedented opportunity for him to get his message out there. For those of you who don't know, the Royal Maundy service goes to a different cathedral each year. That was something that Queen Elizabeth started. But they're saying that the king is going to be there in spirit. This is also significant because the last time that a recorded Easter message was sent was when Queen Elizabeth did it in 2020. Remember, she spoke of light overcoming darkness during COVID. I'll be watching. And talking about Katherine and William released their first joint statement since all of this came out, basically letting everybody know how touched they were from all the messages in the UK, across the Commonwealth, around the world, because everybody has been putting out their best wishes for Katherine. And why not? She is universally loved. And right after that, the palace released a new statement and said basically that Katherine will return to duties when she's cleared to do so by her medical team. And she's in good spirits and is focused on making a full recovery. And also they stated that William will balance supporting his wife and family and maintaining his official duties. So basically, they're not putting a time down when she was going to return. No problem there. She received comments from Joe Biden and his wife. She received comments from the president of France. She's received comments from the 6th Commonwealth Secretary in Scotland. People all over the world are sending in their best wishes for her. Very high profile people. I think that's the point. It's not these celebrities that were involved in the Where's Kate scandal. These are the high profile people who now, being aware of the cancer diagnosis, are horrified at what they were trying to keep private. And I have to throw out there really quickly, because it's coming out in the news that Harry and Meghan were blindsided because nobody bothered to tell them first. Well, they're saying that Harry and Meghan had absolutely no right to expect to be told before the rest of the world. And look what's happened. Since then, the Sussexes have released that they've sent health and good, wishes, that they sent a private letter. It's the same thing that they always do. Let me tell you something. Everybody's talking about this is the olive branch that's going to bring the brothers back together. No, it's not. I'm telling you that right now. Now, going back, digressing, I told you Catherine's getting these fabulous emotional messages. Well, she got one from Mila Snedden. Do you guys remember her? She was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 4 years old, and Katherine visited her, and Mila said, well, pink's my favorite color. Would you wear pink? So, of course, Katherine wore pink when she went to see her. Katherine originally met this little girl because her photo was in the Hold Still competition. Remember that one? And in the picture, Mila was looking at her dad through the window because she was on chemo and she couldn't be around people in case, she got sick. Mila was invited to the Christmas Carol concert, and for those of you who are unaware, Mila celebrated 2 years cancer-free on the very same day that Katherine released her diagnosis to the world. Mila apparently reported to her mother she wanted to send Katherine a card, so they're saying that Mila will make contact in her own private way. Mila's comment, according to the Mirror, was, and I'm quoting, "She will be brave because I was, and she will fight it like I did." Mila also added, "I hope she feels better soon." This little girl is amazing. All right, moving on. All right, moving on to Edward. It's now being reported, because King Charles and William have temporarily curtailed, their public duties, that Edward has secured the public support as the royal family's leading man. We know that Edward and Sophie have both stepped up to help with, the shortage. Now, this is interesting. The article says that a former gamekeeper at Balmoral took Edward deer stalking in the hills and said that he was really tough. For those of us who have been following for a while, we know that Edward is into music and art and, theater. This has always been his thing. And before he became the Duke of Edinburgh, he had the title of Earl for several years. Love him. Let's move on to Sophie. How many times have I told you guys that she is now coming into her own with the style? How many times have I said that as she's gotten older, it's gotten better? Here's a few, examples. This picture is from 1999. This next picture is from 1994. This one is from 1998. And this one is right after she got engaged in 1999. So her style is getting better as she goes. Some of her outfits were very questionable, like this one from 1999. And then you have ones like this from the memorial service for Jill Dando that she went to. But you can see now that she's gotten older and she's come into her own with the clothing. She knows how to dress herself, appropriately. Good silhouettes, things that fit correctly. I love this. I think, and I've said it before, she's come into her own finally, because her taste in the beginning was, okay. Let's move on now to Princess Anne, who was in Scotland. She went to visit the Lockerbie Air Disaster Memorial Site today. She met with Fiona Armstrong, the Lord Lieutenant of Dumfries, and she laid a wreath in the Garden of Remembrance at the cemetery in Lockerbie. And let me tell you, she doesn't usually show emotion, but on this day, she really did. For those of you who may be too young to remember this, I know I remember it, it was PanAm Flight 103. It exploded over the town of Dumfries 40 minutes into its flight from London to New York. All 259 passengers and crew on board were killed, along with 11 residents on the ground. So Princess Anne toured the site, laid the wreath, looked at all the names of all the people, and then she walked around the garden. There's apparently a garden right there that she was able to tour. She just doesn't usually show emotion like this, so it really got me. You know what I mean? Fiona Armstrong then stepped forward and delivered a speech to everybody that was there, including Princess Anne. Anne looked absolutely gorgeous, though, in what she was wearing. These are the kind of things that that they're not just out there doing, because, you can tell she was really affected by this. All right, when that was over, she went to visit Mac Reber, which is an asphalt contractor in Lockerbie. She learned about the company's manufacturing and test processes, and she got a tour of the factory, and she met with different investors and employees. Let me also say that I love what Anne is wearing, and come to find out, this jacket was seen before in 1990. Before she left, she also stopped into the Dreyfusdale Lodge Visitor Center, which had recently been refurbished, and it serves as a memorial center for the lives lost from the bombing of the flight. Let's move on now to the Duchess of Gloucester. She went to the Dental Institute, which is at King's College. She is there in her role as Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Army Dental Corps. She toured something called the Rainbow Suite. The suite provides dental care to people who have dental trauma services and facial trauma to adults. Kind of like I had after my accident, same thing. She met patients, she met staff, she did the tour, and then she unveiled a plaque because this is the centenary of the dental hospital and school. It opened in 1923, so it had its 100th year in 2023. Pretty cool. Talking about the Duchess of Gloucester, I've told you guys before, she's very quiet and gracious. She's just kind of in the background. She is Danish born, and since she married into the royal family, she's been to 5,000 engagements. I love her. She is a former secretary. She has never given an interview. She doesn't court publicity. She has over 60 charities that she donates all of her time promoting and supporting. Oh, wow. She's 77 and she met the Duke of Gloucester at Cambridge. Her maiden name was Brigitte Eva van der Henriksen. Interesting. And she never expected to have to devote herself to the monarchy when she married Prince Richard. I like her. Next up, we have the Duke of Kent. For those of you who don't know, a few days ago, he marked the 55th anniversary of being president of RNLI. He has been the president since 1969. They put up a very nice online tribute to him. Good for him. All right, let's move on. All right, you guys, we're going to take a twist now and we're going to talk about YouTube because YouTube is messing with my account. Now, listen, I did this experiment with the 3 videos to see about the algorithm, and let me explain, okay? Some of these are screenshots. They look cleaner than others, but try to follow me so that you get what I'm saying, all right? First off, YouTube is throttling my channel. As you can see from the screenshots, I'm getting 16,000 views, 18,000 views, 20,000 views. Not a lot, okay? Really, not a lot. 19,000, 13,000. But here's where I used to get a lot more. Look at those views. Right. Now, this one is not a screenshot, but look at the amount on these ones. Look how many views I used to get. And this is just last year. Here's ones that show the views from last year. And this goes to show you that YouTube is throttling my channel. And this is why I said to you people, hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. So now I'm getting reports from people that their like buttons aren't working. That's right. YouTube is not allowing them to like the video. Then they're claiming not only are they throttling me and they're not allowing you guys to like the videos, but they're claiming that some of you aren't real and they're once again culling people off of my account. I finally made it to 67,105, only to wake up the other day and find 70 people gone. Now, I'm sure by the end of the day, the numbers come back up, but this is what YouTube is doing. This is why I consistently tell you to check and make sure you're still subscribed, because I'm constantly getting messages from people that YouTube has unsubscribed them. Oh, and by the way, the comments I'm getting from you about your comments being removed, that's YouTube also. I do not remove comments unless they're absolutely abusive. YouTube is doing that to you, not me. Now, don't get me wrong. I've reached out to YouTube. I get stock emails. I got the same email this morning that I got 5 months ago, word for word. They send out stock emails. They never explain themselves. Now, which is why I keep telling you, if your button's not working, please write to YouTube and ask them why. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why I opened up my Patreon. The link is in the description box. There's no censoring. There's no removing content. There's no throttling. I can say what I want when I want. And we currently have over 800 members and climbing, so you'll be in good company. I've gone as far as I can with YouTube with the complaints. I've been told I cannot escalate it any further than I already have. But, you know, some of us, Royal Daily Tea, myself, some of us are absolutely being throttled by YouTube. So there's nothing I can do about it, guys. The only thing I can tell you to do is if you like my content, keep complaining to YouTube, especially when you get unsubscribed, because they admitted they're the ones unsubscribing you. That's all there is to it. All right, you guys, thank you for hanging in. Don't forget to move on to video 3 after you hit the like button. And make sure you're still subscribed. All right, I'll see you over on video 3.